What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about Interceptor, the new Netflix movie that just came out today on Netflix. It stars Elsa Pataki, Luke Bracey as the villain, and it comes from the first-time director Matthew Riley. So I'm just gonna say right off the bat, this movie was horrendous, terrible, awful, fucking just garbage movie. And I can already tell like some people are gonna like it. One, it's a very politically correct movie. And now listen. I'm all against racism. I'm all for immigration, all for women's rights, all for sexual assault victims. And this movie is about all that, I guess. But the grand story is that this woman who's lieutenant is stationed at one of the only army battle stations where it's able to intercept a nuclear missile in case a nuclear missile was ever sent to America. And so she's there, and of course nuclear missiles are coming, like 16 missiles are coming to hit the United States. So she's tasked with protecting the command center before these terrorists can come in and, take down the whole station so that the missiles can come through. So that's like the story. It's an action story about that. And then somehow, some way, you have all these themes that are about like how bad America is. Like, I get it. Like, I know the state that America's in right now. I know there are bad people. I know there are dicks. There are racists out there. But it's like your whole movie is spent at throwing these, like, one-dimensional themes at the audience without even saying anything. The whole movie, it's like she's behind a glass door, the villain's behind a glass door, and they're talking about, like, politics. Like that's what they're talking about. And it's like the writers wrote it in a way so that, like, their whole backstories, like, the people around them are like representations of like where America is at. So it's like this weird, convoluted, messy script that is, the dialogue's horrendous. It's literally, I think a 16-year-old wrote the script. Like, it was the most basic form of dialogue in a script that I've ever seen. It was so bad. It was like literally like, listen, like these themes are important. It actually feels disrespectful that they would even include these messages of racism and immigration like in a movie like this. It was a parody of itself. Like, there are good classic movies out there that I don't even want to say in the same breath as this movie, so I'm not even going to mention them, that focus on a theme that's important and they integrate it into their story, and by the end of the movie you either have a new outlook on this theme, or you feel like you learned something, or there's a message that conveyed through the film. This movie, there's no message. It's like spoon feeding you like what's wrong with America like every other scene. And then you have like action for action. Like the action was like, the action was fine. Like the score is actually like okay. The way the film looked is like, at times the CGI was gross when they go outside. Inside, the set production was like 2 rooms, and they're basic as hell. I think the acting from everyone was pretty horrendous as well. There's like one cool cameo halfway through the movie that he doesn't save the movie whatsoever. I know the main actress was in the Fast and Furious movies. She's nothing really special in those movies. The other guy, I saw him in Holiday. That movie was pretty bad as well. And this is a first-time director. I think he was a writer, so for books. So maybe, I don't know, just the transition to film is just not maybe the best decision for him. So yeah, the acting was bad. This felt like a typical like 80s action movie, but like the bad ones. And I feel like someone maybe like loved those movies, and they're like, yo, what if we had like a badass woman like doing that, and it's like, yeah, like that maybe is a good idea, but it's like, maybe like make the movie better, like maybe make the script like actually something that's meaningful or important or at least entertaining. Like, it's literally like, the premise is interesting, like having nuclear missiles coming, like having this base that's able to intercept the missiles and you got to protect it. It's interesting on like a video game level. Like, it felt like a Call of Duty video game mission, so like it was just like cartoonish, stupid, and then it's like you can't even focus on that story because like you're just talking about all this other shit. Like, he's talking about like how Phil's talking about how like, oh, my father was like so rich, like we used to like ski in the mountains, and in the summer I used to like go to the beach in the Hamptons, and she's like, oh my god, like don't mansplain it to me, like just shut up. Like they use all these terms, and like you can just tell like they have an agenda, and like it just feels forced. Like, I get it, like if you want to talk about that stuff that's important like in the real world, I get it. Like, I'll talk about like that's like a serious topic. But in the movie where it's like you're not even, your main focus isn't even on that, it just feels like unorganic for like the story. It feels like the writers, like you're just forcing stuff in. Like so many things feel so forced. Like you're just trying to say something political just to like say something political. Like what are you trying to say? By the end of the movie, it's not like they're saying anything new. It's just like, here's the problems of America, like racism, immigration, fucking, I don't even know. And they don't even say anything. So it's like, what was the point of even incorporating all that into your story if you're not going to say something important about any of it? So you have this one-dimensional video game story. You have this one-dimensional protagonist where it's like you can't even get behind her because like she's so cocky. Like she's just like she knows that she's a strong woman, and it's like people like tell her she's a strong woman. Like the government, the White House, the Madam President is like, you're one hell of a woman, and she's like, yeah, I know, and like straps it up. And like we've seen that with men though, right? Like in the whole 80s movies, like for some reason like it works. Like for a lot of guys, like seeing that testosterone of that, I don't know, like a lot of guys like that, right? But I just feel like even if a movie like this was made today with a man in the lead, I think it would still come off corny, still come off cheesy. Like the stuff that worked back then like isn't gonna work now. And it just comes off as like this cheesy one-dimensional action movie with like nothing to say, and like I just don't want to see that anymore. You know, like all the great action movies today, like I don't think they're cheesy, I don't think they're corny. The ones that are actually great, like Top Gun Maverick just came out, you know, there's some cheesy moments in that. No, this was just like not good. And then like, see, it's so bad to say because like a lot of things I do complain about, a lot of the moments in here that like I thought were like jaw-droppingly bad, where I literally had my mouth open about like what I was watching. I literally said out loud to myself like multiple times, like what the fuck, like this is terrible. It was for like moments that were like I said, like those politically correct moments. Like she got like captured once, like spoiler alert, I guess. And the guy is like, I think he doesn't even say anything to her, and she just says like some random line about like only call a woman by her name. Don't call her sweetie, don't call her sweetie pie, don't call her honey, don't call her honey pie. She goes off. Don't call her baby, don't call her hoe, don't call her slut, don't call her anything. And then she's like, and especially don't call her darling. And then like headbutts the guy. And like that type of dialogue, it's just like, who wrote this shit? Like who wrote this? Oh my god. So it's like you have all this stuff like thrown in your face for no reason, takes you out of the story that was okay. Like you have this video game story, like just run with it, you know, make it corny if you want. So yeah, like that's literally the whole movie. I don't really gotta go into it too much any more details. Like that's literally like everything. She's like in the command center, like she's talking to the villain who's a terrorist, and he's trying to send nukes to America because like he's mad about America and like the system, you know. So he's like, I'm trying to save you, and like so this doesn't happen anymore, woman. Like she has like the sexual assault story, which is real as well, and like you can tell like her story is real, so it's important. But they just don't even like play into it that much. It's like again, like it's nothing new or nothing to say, and like the villain is like supportive of her and like is doing this so that like I don't even fucking know. It's all predictable, and like by like you know she's just gonna win, and like it's fucking stupid. I don't know. This was honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So my rating for this movie is a 0.5 out of 5. There's like maybe one or two redeemable qualities about it. Maybe just because it's late at night. But I give this movie a chance. I honestly thought like for the first couple minutes like it wasn't terrible. Then once they started talking, like literally once like the script, like I guess throughout the whole movie it is bad. Like it's fucking horrendous. It really is. And it's a trend with these Netflix movies. These Netflix movies that don't get that big of a push or like name value, they're shit. They're all shit. Honestly, like, I've seen a bunch of them now. They're nothing special, and this I think was one of the worst. I'm sorry, and I hate to say it because like I know that it is a woman lead, and she is like a strong, independent, like you know, woman that's trying to like be badass, and like we're supposed to just like love that and eat it up, and like talking bad about like America, and like look at all the issues of America, like look we're trying to just like spoon feed you this, like don't you agree with this, you know? And it's like chill, like what the fuck even is this? Like what are you even trying to like do with this movie? I don't know whose movie it was made for. Like it's really garbage. So that's just my own personal opinion on the movie. If anyone's seen it yet, you know, comment down below. Like, what'd you think of it? Did you think it was really that bad, or do you think it was fine? I'm sure if you put it on the background when you want your phone, you probably think it was fine. That's my thoughts. If you plan on seeing this, let me know. Please don't. If you got anything from this review, just don't watch the movie. And that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this, please make sure to like it. Please subscribe if you're new. But I'll see you all in the next video. Great rest of the day.